This may be, and I think it will be, our most active pattern that we've seen the entire winter when it comes to severe weather, the potential for ice and heavy snow that we've seen the entire winter. And with that stratospheric polar vortex splitting, who knows what March is going to bring, but that is going to be something I'm going to be talking about soon. All right, guys, so I'm going to do a little bit more of longer format videos moving forward, at least 1 to 2 a week, just so I can get into more details. If you hear anything in the background, that is my son. Everyone's really interested in snowfall. What's our snowfall looking like moving forward? I can tell you right now, February, and I'm not saying this to hype it up, it's just the facts. Check back here March 1st and let me know how February turned out for the US. Let's just say that. February, especially starting really, I mean, with this storm we have on Saturday, we're going to see a couple, if not a few weeks moving forward of a train of winter storms. Here's where our Euro is thinking we're going to see the most snowfall just over the next 10 days. Guys, I don't expect this to slow down after 10 days. We may even see bigger storms after this, especially there's a period between the 18th and 22nd where we're probably going to be in MJO phase 8. If you don't know what that means a lot of cold air sinking into the central and eastern US. We're going to have a significant negative Arctic oscillation and a negative North Atlantic oscillation, and that is a recipe for even bigger snowstorms. But here, just over the next 10 days, obviously, this is a ridiculous amount of snowfall. The Euro does hold most of this stuff to the north, except for you can see over here in the Rockies. I mean, this would be fantastic for our skiers and our snow lovers out there in the Rockies. So, and really all of our models have that. Where our models disagree is how far north this snow is. We can see if we move to our GFS right here, the GFS actually brings the heaviest snow line kind of down a little bit. You can see it through here. Still has all that snow out west though. We can take a look at the national blend. Well, the national blend does what it's supposed to. It kind of blends them together. But this is typically widely considered the best snowfall map, really just best forecasting map to look at if you're looking at mid-range, week or two out, because it takes into account all of the different models we have and all their best forecasts, averages them out, and a lot of times you're going to see something close to this. So again, you can see this is given some love up here to the northern plains, the Midwest, central plains. Definitely, I mean, moving forward, the mid-Atlantic and especially New England, I think over the next 2 to 3 weeks, get ready. Really right now on all of our models, all of our globals, we see 3, 4, 5, 6 storms wanting to set up one after another. Do some of those maybe move through the Midwest potentially and not right out east? Do some move off the coast potentially? But this right here is bullseye for all these storms. So that's what's going on with snowfall. I will quickly show you, obviously we have a storm moving in tomorrow. It's actually currently moving in over, this is the Euro 18Z. It's currently moving over the northern plains into the Midwest. So here is the latest that is going on with this. Let me move this over so you guys can see it a little better. So we are expecting this to not exactly mirror this last storm that we had, but get pretty close. The Euro's been doing a pretty good job this year. So you can see Twin Cities, it's been pulling back on that. It's got it in the 3 to 5 range. Central to northern Wisconsin, we can see somewhere in there, obviously around 2 to 6 here. We'll see. It looks like it wants to hold the snow just to the north of Madison and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then we can see right here, Michigan, we've got central to northern Michigan. That looks to be the target for the snowfall. Again, this looks very similar up here in the Northeast with snowfall to our last system, except for we're expecting a little bit more with this one. As you can see, the potential for wide 6 to 8 inches into Massachusetts or more. Rhode Island, Connecticut's getting involved. Good snow down here for really southwestern Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. This is very similar to our last snow. We are expecting potentially a little bit more snow, though, into northern New Jersey, potentially a little bit more into Long Island, New York City, and northern Pennsylvania here. So a little bit more snowfall for you guys on this one. But again, it's really, really mirroring this last storm. If we go down to ice here, this looks very similar, doesn't it? The only thing that we're seeing that's a little bit different here, I can tell you, is you can see pushing over New Jersey and potentially over towards Philly. That ice is a little bit farther east. That's a little bit concerning for you guys over there. So I'm not seeing any catastrophic ice numbers right now, although some areas could obviously overperform. You can see right here to the east of Pittsburgh, worried about that area again, getting close to a ½ inch. So that is what's going on with that. Now, of course, there is a storm, the system right after this. We're talking in the beginning of next week as we push into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we'll go into the 12Z of the Euro. Let's quickly take a look at this. This system's going to move out. We've still got a zonal flow, meaning we've got some cold air right to the north here, some warmer air down here. And we are going to have a system that is kind of traversing the country. It's gonna start off with dropping a little bit of snow up here in the northwest, and then it's going to begin to tilt slightly according to the Euro. We can see it right here, and this is when we might get a nice stripe of snow right through here. This could include Kansas, really central to southern Illinois, Indiana, southern Ohio. I know a lot of people were asking about St. Louis, northern Kentucky. And as this moves forward, we'll just show you really quickly what is our snow potential on this system here. This is kind of the latest update with this one. This is actually a system right behind it. So the Euro really wants this snow to start just to the south of St. Louis, move through southern Illinois, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, and then you can see the mid-Atlantic all the way up towards really Connecticut, Hudson Valley, down towards eastern PA and across here. This is kind of our target for the most snowfall. Now, the Euro and the GFS still do not agree on here. So let's go over to 24-hour compare. This is our national blend, okay? Here's what our national blend wants to do with this system. Similar, very, very, very similar to the Euro here. You can see where our snow wants to fall. Nothing that impressive here, anywhere between 2 to 5 inches. Now, as we get out to the mid-Atlantic, we are expecting this to increase slightly, and you can see these numbers out here. This is the national blend. So this is definitely going to be a little bit more conservative, which I think is good when forecasting this. And you can see up here through southern Connecticut, and I think we will get some more snow up here. I think this will ride up the coast a little bit. But through southern Connecticut, we can see Long Island, most of Jersey, Hudson Valley, again, southeastern PA, and then really the mid-Atlantic down here, getting involved on anywhere you can see some 7 inches potentially. And then as we push up the coast here, those totals go down a little bit. Why is that? The storm is really flattening out here. So you can see right here in the future radar for the Euro, really a zonal flow here, nothing impressive, but watch right at the end of this run. And this is going into Tuesday afternoon. Watch what happens out here. You're going to see this system begin to deepen a little bit and then try to make a run to the north. This is a deepening low pressure. This is a trough that's wanting to negatively tilt a tiny bit. We could get a big burst of snow here at the end. That is going to be very, very interesting to see. And again, what's happening to the south here along this time frame, really this is going to start Monday and then it's mainly going to be a Monday, Tuesday event. This is going to be potential for some flash flooding and severe weather down here in the southeast, really starting out towards Texas. You can see it here and Oklahoma, and then making its way out east. This could really start cranking up all the way almost in western Texas. So that's something to watch out for. We are expecting the SBC Storm Prediction Center to get us some severe weather updates soon. This is what's interesting here. Here's our first system here. Snow system here on Tuesday and our severe weather potential down there. Now, I want you to watch what's happening back here. This right here, now this is a serious looking system here. We've got a positively tilted trough right here, so it's really not tilted at all, that wants to go negative. And again, this is when you start getting some warm air injection. This is where you start getting a deepening low, a lot of instability here. And this is, if we hold this look, is probably going to be more of a blizzard for someone. And this is really looking like it's going to be a Wednesday to Friday problem, starting out in the Rockies and then moving out to the east. You can see right here with the latest Euro, I mean, this is potentially a big blizzard for Chicago and Detroit and these areas through here. Still need to wait a little bit out of forecasting range, but just to show you guys what's going on moving forward here in February. System, all right, here's a snowstorm up in the east, system after system after system after system. I mean, you can see this is what we call a train of winter storms. It's active. Active isn't a good enough word for it. I do want to mention what's going on out west a little bit here as well. We got some snow moving through up here, the northwest. It's going to be moving out. This is our system that's going to affect us out here tomorrow. It's actually a little bit farther to the east. This is the 12Z. So there we go. Cold air is settling down out west here. We can see over basically the next 3 days, we're going to start to see this jet stream dip to the south. Now, this is going to give us the opportunity for some much colder air out here in the west. And if we do have some of these storm systems after that jet stream drops, you can see right here, moving really down into the southwest. This could be, again, the potential for some heavier rain down in the southwest and some snow potential down into Arizona and New Mexico. So we're watching that timeline as well. This would be at the end of next week. I did want to show you guys what's going on here with our temperatures as we move forward really the next week or two. So we are going to start seeing a lot of warm air building up here over Alaska and Canada, really a lot of ridging to our north. This is going to help to compress some of that surface cold air and move it to the south. At the same time, you can really see this. I wanted to mention this real quick. What you're looking at here is our Arctic Oscillation. This is the European Ensemble Arctic Oscillation forecast. This is very negative. What does this represent? As your AO or Arctic Oscillation goes negative, that's a sign of a slowing polar jet. So typically you have a fast moving polar jet up here, and this is holding in a lot of this, the coldest air on the planet. When that polar jet slows, or when this begins to go negative, this teleconnection, this is a sign of it. Sometimes that won't really connect. Sometimes it'll weaken and you'll start to see that cold air leaking out down into the lower 48. So you combine that with, this is what we call our NAO, North Atlantic Oscillation. And I'll just draw you a quick picture here. Pretend here's the United States, right? Here's Greenland out here. Here's Canada, okay? Now, our AO going negative, what does it show us? That shows us that we have a ridge. We call it a block building up out here over Greenland and out into the Northeast and the Atlantic. What this allows is when you have this and your Arctic Oscillation going negative at the same time, you have cold air sinking into the States and it tries to escape quickly and it can't. We got a block out here to the east. That's kind of the easiest way to explain it. So the combination between the negative NAO and the negative AO is a recipe for just insanity in the Central Plains out east. From really the center of the country out east for what we're seeing, a train of winter storms and a lot of snow for a lot of people. This is our stratospheric polar vortex. Notice this is what's going on right now. We have an extremely stretched stratospheric polar vortex still forecast to split. Instead of having, this should be one vortice right here, it's two. If we go into our 12Z, we can see what the Euro wants to do. It wants to completely split it and move this polar vortex that should be over the Arctic, move it in over Canada and the United States. There's typically a week or two lag with effects from this. I do think that's why we're really watching, maybe even out towards the 18th, 19th, and 20th. But this has happened before. It happened in 2018, and it really extended our winter all the way. We had winter-like conditions in some areas of the south through April. So this is a pretty significant event that we're watching unfold as well. The combination of this, there's a lot going on, guys. The combination of this, here's our MJO. You can see what's going on here. We've been spending 5 to 8 days in each of these phases. We may end up in, and I think we will end up in phase 8 as we move into the end of February. What does phase 8 look like from a composite standpoint? Well, typically on average, we have a major cool down from the center of the country out east. You can see that phase 1, 2, which would be right after it. A lot of things pointing towards why our models are just showing crazy. Sometimes you laugh off the models. You say that's not going to happen. In this case, I don't know about that. You can see snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm. I mean, in this case, based on our teleconnections, our MJO, everything we're really seeing, this kind of stratospheric warming event, like I said, that's happening up here, Canada, Alaska, pushing this cold air down to the south. Buckle up down here in the States. This is a lot of this cold air is going to move through the west before it moves through the east. You can see this. It's going to be pushing into the west, and then it's going to be moving out east. So if we just move forward here and we look at, that's why we can see some big snow events out here in the southwest. This is kind of an easy way to look at it here. Look at our temperature forecast moving forward. I mean, cold. This is from the Climate Prediction Center. Very cold. That's out through February 17th, and here's out through the 14th, guys. Much of the country, except for some of our most southern tier, winter's back, right? That's what's being projected. We can look at our precipitation. I mean, look through the 17th. Look at this big target out west. Cold air, precipitation. This is the winter you guys wanted to start with, especially people out in the Rockies who wanted to get an early start to ski season. This is going to be exciting stuff for snow lovers out here, but it could cause some issues too. We're expecting to see a lot of rainfall, a lot of snow out west, especially over the next week or two. So to summarize all this up, what are we expecting here within the next couple of weeks, really through the end of February? We're not expecting, this train of storms out east to slow down. We're expecting a lot of snow chances up here, a lot of ice chances through the middle here where we're having that clashing of warm, cold air. And I will tell you this, next week, we really need to watch the south. Starting Tuesday all the way through really Saturday, maybe even starting Monday, we're going to have some bad, potentially severe weather pumping through here back to back to back to back. I'm telling you, just get ready for that. This is going to cause some disruptions to your daily life down here in the southeast. We have cold air sinking in, winter storms cranking up really in the west and east, and our severe weather is going to be really cranking up down here in the southeast. This is anything but a quiet pattern. This may be, and I think it will be, our most active pattern that we've seen the entire winter when it comes to severe weather, the potential for ice and heavy snow that we've seen the entire winter. And with that stratospheric polar vortex splitting, who knows what March is going to bring, but that is going to be something I'm going to be talking about soon. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Like I said, I'm going to do more long-term videos long form videos like this, just to give you guys a little bit more detail than I can in my 2-minute videos. But I'll continue to post every single day, go live every single night. Not feeling the best tonight, so I'm going to try to go live tonight. My whole house has basically gotten sick, so we'll see how I feel. But I appreciate you. If you want to throw me a follow or sub, that'd be awesome. If you're on YouTube, liking the video always helps. And I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll be back here with another video tomorrow. And again, I might be going live tonight. I try to go live every single night. So I'll see you guys later.